Hello, everyone, and welcome to another MyMusic. It's getting towards the end of the week when we're recording this, but we're not flagging. No, we're not, because what we're doing is we're about to enter the tranquil and sort of calming part of the week, and to help us do that is the wonderful Brooke and her amazing, beautiful music. Which takes you into that kind of calming space. So we will be talking to Brooke about her music and her life in general straight after this, which isn't calming, but it's just there to kind of wake you all up and make you expectant of the tranquil moment which is to follow.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Brooke, thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
That little dun, 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 dun bit that came on a minute ago. Could we ever expect anything like that from you?
No.
No.
No. Well, maybe. You never know.
You never know.
People change, right? But not anytime soon.
No. You write beautiful music.
I'd like to think so.
You write like real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, on real instruments with like, real melodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where did that all come from?
Well,
Where did you get that? Where did you get that idea from?
I mean, I have a very musical family.
Cool.
My granddad plays the guitar, my aunt plays the drums, and my aunt sings, even my mum plays the drums. Very musical family. My uncle plays guitar as well. So I've always been surrounded by music, really. But even if I wasn't, I think I would always be interested in it. I mean, I've mainly been a singer most of my life. The instruments have kind of come second, actually. So I'm predominantly a vocalist. Well,
yeah. It's an interesting one when you say that, or anyone says that. You've predominantly been a singer. Oh, you've been a singer all your life. I guess we're born singers, are we not?
I guess so.
Are we not? Yeah. I mean, we come out when we come out of our mums, and you've watched those shows on the TV, haven't you? Where it's like there's that tense moment on Call the Midwife or whatever, where the baby doesn't make any sound and then it screams.
Yeah.
And at that moment, we know that it can sing.
Yeah.
Right. Because kind of singing is just opening your mouth and stuff, sound coming out, isn't it? But
just noise.
It's just not. It's amazing when you think about it. It is just noise, and that's quite an amazing thing. But somewhere along the line, some of us, mainly you, in this instance, discover that it's a beautiful sound that comes out. When did you first discover that it was a beautiful sound and not just the screaming?
Well, probably when I started having lessons and they taught me how to actually do it. I mean, I always thought it sounded beautiful, but maybe not to other people.
You see, lessons help, folks. Lessons help.
They definitely do. My voice has changed so much over my life. It's kind of crazy to see how you can just change how you sound just with training.
Yeah. What was the? Okay, this is interesting. What was the main thing that changed with the training? What's been the biggest learning or the biggest lesson? Give people a little tip at home.
Well, the main thing for me that has been kind of life-changing with my voice is learning how to sing like healthily. So like not damaging your voice and like straining and kind of screaming. Exactly. So like it's hard to describe that because it took me a few years to like get over that like straining kind of technique. So you just have to learn how to like use good techniques like using your diaphragm, not kind of. There's a difference between singing and speaking, or people think there is, but singing is more like speaking than you may think. And there's kind of mind change there. It's kind of interesting.
It's fascinating. I love. Do you love watching those little videos where it's like a vocal coach like doing synopsis of somebody singing, and they're going, all right, now they're using their chest voice at this point, and now that's better. That's down in the diaphragm, and you see what they're doing there is they're using the folds there because they're a smoker, and they're using the folds in there. It's fascinating, all of that.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, you can go into so much detail about like the biology of your voice, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
And the one thing that has always fascinated me about it as well, having done it, been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt, is just how, for a singer as well, just how fragile it all is, right? Because it's like, it's on a knife edge between it like being good and it not being good, and like looking after yourself and then losing your voice.
Yeah. It's so easy to damage your voice as well. Like, people don't even know when they're doing it sometimes, and you don't know until like you lose your range. You're like, I wonder why this could be. It's like, oh, it's because my voice is damaged, and it's hard to tell, really. You need to get someone to tell you that you're doing it wrong.
If you're out there and you're screaming at the kids right now, or the dog or whatever, don't. You'll hurt your voice. You'll really hurt your voice. That point where I think that's one of the things people can do to kind of understand is that point where, when you get angry and you scream at somebody or at something, and you can feel it all tense up in here. That's when that's coming from here.
Yeah.
Right. And it's you've got to kind of like loosen up and let it all come from much further down below, in your diaphragm, which most people don't even know where that is.
Yeah,
they think it's somewhere, etc. And now, what about the guitar side of things? Because you're very adept with the old guitar as well. So, how long have you been playing guitar? You've been
probably about a year now.
Only a year.
Yeah,
You're doing really well, Brooke.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not been that long. I've mainly been on piano for about 8 years now. But guitar is new. Yeah, it's a new thing.
Guitar's a new thing. Well, you're doing really well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you, when you first started playing guitar, did you have a nice guitar right from the beginning?
I've had this one behind me the whole time, the little acoustic.
Nice.
I couldn't tell you the make, to be honest. I'm not clued up on that. But it is a nice one, and it's lasted me this long. So it was good to learn on, good to play on now.
Cool.
I don't know the difference, to be honest.
Can I give you a little bit of advice with the old guitar?
Absolutely.
Right. Go and buy something that's rubbish as well.
Okay.
Right. Go and buy something that's really rubbish and has got a really high action to it. Right. And then play that, and it will hurt. But it's a really good idea, because that way, if you can start to make that sound good, now you've got some confidence in guitar anyway, if you can start to make that sound good, then when you move back over to your other guitar, it'll just seem like
much easier.
It will, yeah, it really will. Back in the day, we didn't have a choice. Our first guitar, it came through the post from, I think in my case, it was like from a Freeman's catalogue. It's like a big old shopping catalogue that you used to have.
Yeah.
It came and like the action was like cheese wire, right? And literally you'd have to, even on a simple A or D chord, you'd have to really push, right? And your fingers, as you brought them away, were like, had massive great lines in them. And you just kept going. It's a bit like that scene from The Commitments, if you've ever seen it, where he slaps him on the hand, right, to keep going. But it's great, because then when you went round your mate's house and they had a better guitar, it was like, oh my goodness, this is so easy. So it's a good trick. Who are you loving out there musically? Who are your kind of inspirations?
Well, I love Jeff Buckley, but
who doesn't?
It's not really alive, is he? I love Jeff Buckley, but people who are doing stuff now, like everyone. There's so many people. I love Yeba. I love her voice. It's insane. I really like the band Nothing But Thieves, which is a bit heavier than the stuff I do, but I mean, I'd be totally down to make music like that as well. I mean, I have a band, so we could totally do that. I kind of do like heavier stuff as well, which people might not expect from me.
That's cool,
Listen to
isn't
my
it?
music.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So there's a bit of a, you know, a rock child in you as well,
Yeah.
hidden away. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably from my family as well, because my mum was in a rock band with my aunt, so I've kind of grown up on that stuff as well.
Okay. So could we see that playing out at some point? Could we see like like the more pastoral side of like Brooke Dawn, you
Yeah.
know, with like the leaves and the trees and the rivers and the whatever, you know, and then the next minute the mascara and the makeup and the, you know, sort of the dark imagery and the
Maybe, you
sort
know
of like,
what?
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
totally. I'd do that.
yeah, that's good. I mean
Yeah.
that, you know, like because we've all got those sort of dualities to our personality, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I mean, so like after, oh, I'm interested now. So after like you've been perhaps writing for a bit and you're writing the kind of stuff that you're writing at the moment, do you sometimes just go off to your bedroom and put on a bit of something heavy just to, you know,
I mean, kind of.
shake it out?
Yeah, I mean, the band that I'm with now, we used to play heavier stuff when we were like 14. We'd do like Royal Blood, that kind of thing. I love Royal Blood. Um, and we did a battle of the bands once in Horsham, and we won, and we were like the youngest to win, playing a Royal Blood song. I think it was Out of Black. So I've definitely I've sang heavier stuff. But now as like an artist, I feel like I can't have that much of a variety as I was as just like a singer. Because, you know,
Do you
to
know
have a
what?
brand.
I always come up with great marketing ideas for people on this show.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you watch back over the episodes, I literally have kind of orchestrated some of the best marketing ideas out there that have,
Ooh,
you know,
okay.
t-shirts, merchandise ideas for support acts and gigs and whatever. And yeah, we've done it all on here.
Mm,
Got a great idea for you.
okay.
You've got a little clippage of you at a BBC radio station. That's right. Yeah, on the now that when you go to those stations, they're all quite prim and proper, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
It's all quite you know, straight laced BBC or whatever. But you know what? What I've never seen anyone do, especially like that's in your kind of genre, as it were, of music. This would be absolutely brilliant. Would be literally if you could do a song where you're doing all of the nice finger picking and you're doing all of the lovely singing, and right in the middle of it, you just give us a little bit of like, "Ah!" You know, it's just like,
Yeah, totally.
do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like put a bit of like heavy
yeah,
rock right in the middle of it, and they'd all be like, but what a great video moment that would be.
yeah. That
And
might be.
just like them falling off their seats in the BBC studio. I think
Yeah,
that would be great. Just think how noticed you'd be.
true,
It's
true.
a great idea.
Definitely be remembered.
And that's what it's all about. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about being remembered out there.
Exactly.
What are you writing about?
What do I write about?
Yeah, what are you writing about?
I write about myself and my life.
It
My
is about you.
Yeah, it is about me. I think all of them have been about me. I've written some songs for other people. Kind of they tell me a situation they're going through, and I'm like, oh, I'll write a song for you. It's kind of cute.
How much of yourself on like on a semantic differential scale between sort of like 0 and 10, right? How much of it is you, and then how much of it is embellished?
That's a good question. I feel like you know your stuff. Songwriters, I mean, like you kind of have to embellish it, don't you? I mean, I'd say about like an 8, because it's all like real things that I feel. You just got to make them sound more dramatic to like connect with people, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's like, yeah, but we, do you know what? We do that in everyday life anyway,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
We do that in everyday life. I mean, it's like if you know your partner comes home or whatever, and they go, "I nearly died today." Now they didn't really nearly die today, right? But that's a great start to the story, right?
Yeah.
And then what they tell you is that somebody nearly hit them in the car,
Mhm.
right? So they were driving. I was driving along, up the road by the school, and then like somebody had left this there in the road, and then this car pulled out, and it was going a bit too fast, and I last minute, and I nearly, you know, but the story starts with, I nearly died today.
Yeah.
You see, now we all do it anyway, because
Yeah.
you know, we want to grab people's attention, and also because it sounds better.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we told everybody our life, or even little stories in our life in sort of like a realistic way, they probably sound really dull, and people probably wouldn't listen to us. Yeah.
Could make
Yeah.
it.
I got up this morning, and I sort of literally chose some clothes, and then I put them on, and then I walked over the road to the shop, and I went in the shop, and I went in aisle 3, and I got a loaf of bread, and then I walked to the counter, and then I mean, it just really doesn't, you know.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
It's not great. So I feel like embellishment is there anyway, and it's very necessary.
Yeah.
Who would you love to be produced by, or play with, or work with? Who would that be?
I mean, I have so many singers that I would love to sing with. I've always loved Christina Aguilera. She's been like
Wow.
my idol since I was very young. So I would absolutely love to sing with her. Also like Adele. I quite like Ed Sheeran actually, which is controversial for some reason in
Is
music.
it? Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, don't tell a musician you like Ed Sheeran. For some reason, they hate on Ed. I don't know why. They say he's just like basic, boring pop. Like the chord progressions are so like patterned, and it's like, who cares? It sounds good. Like he's still a good songwriter. Doesn't matter that he does the basic stuff, you know.
I'd like to see. I've seen Ed live. Have you seen Ed live?
I have.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot of the musicians that would complain about someone like Ed get up there in front of that many people and entertain them like Ed does.
Exactly. I mean, I saw him. It's insane. He's using his like loop pedal, and he just does everything just with his guitar and his voice. Like it's actually insane.
I think Ed just makes it look easy.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
But he's actually really very talented and very.
Yes.
You know, I don't have time for people hating on anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what do you know what musicians are kind of prone to this though? There is a, and I've actually taken some of them to court over this, but not literally to court, but do you know what I mean? My court, the court of Graham, over this before now. It's the same as, and I'm going to ask you this now, and then we'll see whether you're going to lie. But it's the same as when you ask musicians like what their first album was, right? And so often they just lie. Right, I've heard so many interviews where people have lied blatantly about what their first album is, and they come up with this coolest alt rock, you know, South African jazz album, whatever. And you go, what? So you didn't start listening to music until you were 36 or something?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right. What was your first album?
It's like the first album I ever listened to.
Yeah, or that you purchased. Or you asked your mum and dad for, or whatever.
Well, the first vinyl I ever got, which was an album, was Harry Styles.
There, you see?
Yeah.
That's absolutely believable, isn't it?
It's pop, you know, he's famous.
It's famous, it's pop. He's quite good live as well. I've seen him live.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That makes complete sense, right? My first, I've said this several times on here, but I'm going to let you know now because you probably haven't heard it. My first was Father Abraham in Smurfland. Now that's real.
Right.
Right? Because I was 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was 7 years old, and I asked my mum and dad, I want to go to a record shop and buy my first ever vinyl. You know, and it had this lovely red and blue cover with this picture of this old man on the front who was Father Abraham, and then all these little blue and white Smurfs running around on it. See?
Cool.
When you're 7, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like, you know,
Yeah.
in between days, not like The Cure or like, you know, Echo and the Bunnymen or something. When people say things like that, yeah, my first album was Echo and the Bunnymen, I was like, well, you started really late then,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
You weren't buying music at the same age that I was.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
look, you said earlier, yeah, you do want it to go big. This so what's on the journey plan at the moment for Brooke Dawn? What's going to take you to the next stage?
Well, I'm gonna keep releasing music. Hopefully,
You've
keep
got to do
getting
it.
to the studio. Got to do it. I mean, this is my first ever release, so I'm kind of just getting used to the whole like promoting side of it.
And this is an old song.
I mean, I wrote this song about a year and a bit ago.
That's so old.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it took me a while to like get everything sorted. I mean, I've got so many songs. It was just deciding which one I actually liked.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a song now? I've got to ask then, right? And this is a beautiful song, by the way.
Thank you.
The song that's out at the moment, which you know, do you want to tell everyone what it's called?
Brighter Than the Sun by Brooke Dawn, guys.
Brighter Than the Sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other newspapers are available, but they're not as, you know, brighter than the sun, right? It's got a double meaning. It's got a double entendre to it, right? Because what Dawn's saying is that there are things in life which are even brighter than the sun, right? And also, you might be brighter than somebody that reads the sun. That's a meaning you haven't even thought about.
Wow.
But it could mean that. Nothing wrong with the Sun newspaper, but you might be saying, look, I'm going to get in trouble if I keep going on that. But yeah, there's a thing. Now this is a beautiful song, and it's got some beautiful melody in it, and it's got some beautiful lyrics to it, etc. But is there a song in the canon of stuff that you've put together yourself so far that's a little bit different, a little bit quirky, a little bit, and you're like, I don't know whether I should release that or not? There's always one in there, isn't there? There's always one.
Quirky. I don't know if there is, you know.
Isn't there? Should we work on it now?
Maybe let's make a quirky tune.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, most of my stuff is more like ballady on the.
I know. I just feel like you could do something with like a little bit of a bossa nova or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just
Yeah.
a little bit, kind of like almost jazzy, kind of bossa nova-y, and then still keep the kind of sort of like, you know, pastoral kind of tones and whatever, but just, you know, maybe even like a trip hop beat over the. Yeah.
That sounds sick.
Yeah. We should make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's going off to write it this afternoon. How quickly do you write when you write? Do you write? Does it take quite a long time? Do you have to work for it quite a lot, or does it come quite quickly?
It's pretty quick. I mean, I usually write songs at like 3 a.m. You know, I'm supposed to be sleeping and I can't sleep, so I just get my guitar out.
Oh, are you an insomniac?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh. Have you written songs about being an insomniac?
Yes, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe that'll be the next one that's released.
We'll see.
But yeah, it doesn't take me too long. It takes me like 20 minutes maybe. I kind of just tend to improvise, and then whatever comes out I just use, and it tends to be all right. So it's not much work.
What's been the weirdest thing that you've seen at like 3 a.m. in the morning or whenever it is that you write, that's like gone, oh wow, I didn't realize that happens at 3 a.m. in the morning? Or do you know what I mean?
Probably like foxes screaming.
Foxes, yeah, you see, that stuff happens at that time of night.
Scary. I thought there was like some child like dying. I don't know, it was scary.
Yeah.
They really scream.
Yeah, we had a for weeks we had a badger that kept coming and getting into the food waste.
Oh, really?
At like early, yeah. And once I opened the door, the wife went, "Get down there! Something at the door." Anyway, I opened the door, and there was literally this badger right in front of me going,
oh my god!
It's really quite scary. Yeah, it's really quite scary. It's like, oh. I think we were both scared of each other. We kind of like, and then it ran off.
Oh god!
You know, but there was a moment where I thought I was going to get a badger leap up and get me in the,
Oh,
they bite me in the. They're quite vicious
really?
badgers. Yeah, they're really. I wouldn't want to try and take a bone off of a badger. That would be hard.
Yeah, I bet.
Foxes. Maybe you could write a song about foxes at night.
Maybe have
Foxes.
some screaming in the background.
Foxes, or something about foxes. Yeah, foxes screaming, and use it as a metaphor for people.
Yeah. Okay.
Are there metaphors in your song?
Yes, I mean, I actually once wrote the song was like just completely metaphors and made sense to me, but I don't know if it would make sense to anyone else. But I love just like figurative language. You don't have to actually say what happened, just like work around it, make them guess.
So I did that once, and nobody ever understood it, and then it got to a point where I don't think I understood it.
Yeah, it does get a bit much sometimes.
Yeah, literally. I've mentioned it. I think I've mentioned it before now. I wrote a song called Yellow Pages,
Mm-hmm.
and do you know what Yellow Pages are?
Yeah.
The old phone book.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like the idea of the fact that there was all of these different lives going on in this phone book, and like as you flick through it, like you could hear about like this person does this and this person does that, but then I wonder what's actually going on in their lives, because that's just what they do on the outside, and it kind of got quite deep, but like people would listen to it and go, you're singing about a phone directory.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I just didn't connect quite right.
I don't see the deeper meaning.
Yeah, but maybe some things just need to come up. Sometimes the story just needs to come a little bit more.
Yeah.
Obviously for people,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So are you going to be playing any gigs for us, Brooke? Brooke Dawn, are you playing some gigs?
Yes, I am.
Yes, cool.
I've got a few lined up. I've got Brighton Fringe. It's a little gig at Lewis Road Inn in Brighton.
That's lovely.
Awards. And then I have one at the Concord too in Brighton. With my college, B1 Arts. That's on the 18th of June, I believe.
Nice.
Those are the biggest ones, and I've got some others.
Have you played outside of sort of London, Brighton area yet? Have you how far have you spread your wings?
I mean, I've played in London. Nowhere else. I played at the Royal Albert Hall, so that's pretty cool.
That was I saw that. Tell us about that very briefly. How on earth did you play at the? I mean, some of us have played there because we snuck an instrument in.
Yeah.
And like stood in the crowd and just played it.
Busking.
For me, it was a kazoo.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you see. And then you can say you've played at but it's a lie really. But you actually played there. So how did that happen?
It was a songwriting competition kind of thing for young songwriters around London and Sussex, wherever. And yeah, basically there was like a few rounds, and then you have to audition in person, and then the finals is at the big stage. So yeah, I got to play. I got through to the finals and played on the big stage. Absolutely insane. Filled.
Were you terrified, or was it fine? I mean, because now this is a great experience to have gone through, because now you know what it's going to be like when it happens for real and you're playing there all the time. So how was it?
It was just really fun. I mean, once you're up there, you can't really see the audience. I was kind of trying to look up and see the top of the stadium.
You just see those bubbles on the ceiling, sort of thing.
Yeah. But it was so cool. You could definitely feel the size of the space.
Yeah.
But without actually seeing anyone in the audience. But it was an amazing experience. I mean, I obviously was nervous, but not too nervous, to be honest. I was just excited to get out there,
Cool. You'll be back there one day. Your name in lights.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
Stadium heights, as Ed says.
Yeah.
No one's hating on Ed here.
No, never.
No. And if Ed phones you tomorrow, you'll be there, right?
Absolutely, I will. I bet anyone would, even when they say.
I know. They'd say, "Oh yeah, no." When oh, Ed, hello. You want me what? You want me to play Cardiff? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Exactly.
See, people got
Oh,
to, people have got to keep it real. So you're playing some gigs there. Well, what we need to do is we need to get you out and about at some point. I mean, obviously, if you're still studying and whatever at the moment, that makes it a little bit difficult. But maybe at some point, if you're watching, folks, and you're in charge of like a little festival or something, you know, Brooke, check her out.
absolutely.
You'd go down. I think you'd go down well on like sort of semi folk festivals as well. Do you know what I mean? You've got
Yeah,
that kind of crossover between sort of like pop and something a bit folky as well. So anyone that's putting on a festival where they want someone that, you know, when the sunset is just going down and it's a nice warm balmy day, and you know people are just sitting there with their food from the Chinese takeout cart, and you got that all, you know, that glorious smell of fried tempura, vegetables, and all of that. There's Brooke. She'll be there
right.
on the stage with her songs, delighting the people. If that's you, if you can put that together for Brooke, that would be marvelous. Give her a call. She'll come and do it for you this summer.
Really,
She'll find a date. But
indeed.
Brooke, we think your music's marvelous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making it. We look forward to hearing more from you in the future, and we're going to add your song to the MyMusic podcast playlist so people can hear it. And we will encourage people out there, you people out there now, to go and check out Brooke's music. And if you do like it, stop and talk to her on the old Instagram and whatever, because she does talk back.
I do.
Not like some people who have those little messages that come up with join my community, but I won't ever speak to you. Brooke will talk to you, and she'd like to hear from you. She'd like to hear if you like her music as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This has been the marvelous Brooke Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, and you've been watching MyMusic. If you've enjoyed this, please do go and share with your friends, your family. Please do check out mymusicpodcast.com, where you can also join the community, which I shall be inviting Brooke to come into free as well. We will be back soon with more of this, but until then, bye for now.